Thank you, friendly announcer lady. I never say thank you to her. That's on me. I'm sorry. It's been years now. Thank you, friendly announcer lady. I hope we meet one day. Welcome to A Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. It's going to be a while before we meet because we can't meet anybody right now. That's true. Yeah. Too bad. Love to go for a walk. It's beautiful here in the city. Happy first day of fall. There's a Christmas in the air. The leaves are changing. Our nation is ravaged by a preventable disease due to our president's criminal negligence. So happy's a relative term. It's a mixed bag, admittedly. But despite his historic shanking of the coronavirus response yesterday in Ohio, our pumpkin spice POTUS put a positive spin on things.
We now know the disease. We didn't know it. Now we know it. It affects elderly people with heart problems and other problems. If they have other problems, that's what it really affects. That's it. You know, in some states, thousands of people, nobody young, below the age of 18, like nobody. They have a strong immune system. Who knows? You take your hat off to the young because they have a hell of an immune system, but it affects virtually nobody.
They say 200,000 people have died, but I haven't heard from any of them. Raise your hand if you've died of coronavirus. See? Nobody.
The coronavirus has now killed more Americans than the U.S. battle deaths from the last 5 wars combined. So brace yourself for Trump's update to the Vietnam Memorial. Personally, I haven't been affected at all, and neither have the 2 masked men in the room with me. Or this great crowd, right? In fact, America has been so unaffected by the coronavirus that this Halloween, the CDC is discouraging trick-or-treating. You know, maybe that's for the best. Anybody who goes dressed up as a mummy is just going to get mugged for the toilet paper. The new guidelines for Halloween include low-risk ways to celebrate, like carving pumpkins, decorating your home, outdoor scavenger hunts, and virtual costume contests. Of course, the scariest part of a virtual costume contest is knowing that the participants are probably not wearing pants. It's going to be Spider-Man up top, Porky Pig downtown. That's balls, folks. CDC also wants you to terrify responsibly. If screaming will occur, greater distancing is advised. So you can't make things too scary. So instead of a haunted house, get your chills and thrills from a mild anxiety house. Ooh, stick your hand into this pile of overdue Verizon bills. There's a late fee. Other big news from the CDC on Friday, they updated their official COVID guidance with this scary addendum. Airborne particles can remain suspended in the air and be breathed in by others and travel distances beyond 6 feet. Kind of important information just to slip in there on a Friday afternoon. Hey, you guys, no biggie, but the virus is airborne. 6 feet won't save you, so you're going to want to wrap yourself in saran wrap and start a new life under the floorboards. Then yesterday, CDC abruptly removed its guidance about airborne coronavirus transmission. Well, that's not comforting. It's like a fire marshal saying, if you catch fire, remember, just stop, drop, and ignore everything I just said. Who's got marshmallows? The CDC is claiming that Friday's disappearing airborne virus guidelines were just a draft version posted in error. Well, that's embarrassing. You published a first draft? I mean, come up with joke here about how this is embarrassing, maybe a metaphor. Figure it out later. Note CBS lawyers won't let you have jokes that involve masturbation. Really? That's true. That is true. We cut a good one tonight. We cut a real good one tonight. Not only that, the CDC claimed that telling the public the virus is extra airborne was just an honest mistake. I believe the medical term for that is an oopsie-daisy. Now, maybe it was just an honest mistake, but I think we should take everything the CDC says with a grain of salt for the foreseeable future. For instance, Trump appointees delayed one CDC study for weeks because it showed the actual number of coronavirus infections was likely 10 times the official number, which was deemed to be in conflict with Trump's messaging. Okay, so they're trying to change reality just to fit what the president says, which explains why the CDC says the new recommended serving size for food is bucket. But as bad as Trump's handling of the coronavirus has been in public, apparently in private, it's way worse. According to Olivia Troy, a former Pence aide and top advisor to the coronavirus task force, Trump's response to the coronavirus pandemic showed a flat-out disregard for human life. That is rough. It's not great for a president when you're described with the same slogan as the Arby's Bacon Ranch chicken wrap. And other important stuff, just when it seemed like the coming Supreme Court battle was going to be the craziest part of our government, the Justice Department said, "Hold my beer." And Kavanaugh said, "Gladly." Because yesterday, in an official statement, the Department of Justice named New York City, Portland, and Seattle anarchist jurisdictions. Anarchist jurisdictions, do you know what that means? I'm going to guess no, because it's a made-up term. It's all just part of Trump's crackdown on cities that have protesters. The Justice Department has identified these 3 cities as having permitted violence and destruction of property and are now at risk of losing federal dollars. So, New York is a kid, and Bill Barr is basically saying no allowance until you clean up your room, except the kid in question gives the parents $116 billion more in lemonade sales than the kid gets back. And I know that's not a perfect analogy, but what do you want from me? I'm living in an anarchist jurisdiction. And the anarchy is everywhere. I barely got in here tonight. I had to wade through the corpses. Just look at the scene in front of the Ed Sullivan Theater. Oh my God. Look at the mayhem. That's a one-man bike gang. Okay, there's a cop. They're running away. The cops are driving away from that delivery man who just showed up with who knows what, a dirty bomb? Okay, he heard me just describe him, so he's running away now because he knows I'm on to him. Well, okay, those 2 guys both have masks. I don't know what, that's some sort of sex thing, I think. It's Late Show with Stephen Colbert. I've heard bad things about that guy. And what's this coming around the corner? That's a Brinks truck. Oh, now it's so dangerous in New York, they have to deliver the money in an armored van. And what's that golden M there? Does that stand for mayhem? Help us! As I was saying before we looked at the flaming hellscape just outside these doors, Trump was in Ohio spraying spittle at his fans, and the commander-in-chief took some time to brag about America's new weapons.
We have I call it the super-duper missiles, like at a level that nobody's ever seen. It's hydrosonic. I call it super-duper, because super-duper is easier for people to understand than hydrosonic.
It's true. Hydrosonic missiles can be hard to understand because they don't exist. They're called hypersonic missiles. So super-duper missiles is actually just a made-up name for something he didn't know the real name of. And I know it feels petty at this point to call out Trump on the words that he says. But when it comes to weapons of war, they should really matter. I mean, imagine it's 1945 and you heard President Truman say this.
16 hours ago, an American airplane dropped a big bang boom on Hiroshima. That kablooey had more power than 20,000 tons of blowy-uppy sticks. Blammo!
With the election only 6 weeks away, Trump had some strong words about Joe Biden.
Joe's got no spirit. It's dead as a rock. The only spirit he's got is spirit to beat me. And that's called a negative spirit. And historically, that doesn't do that well.
Everybody knows you can't trust the negative spirits, and I know a ton of them. They keep visiting me at night, showing me the Christmases past, present, and future, and they will not shut up about my sins. I had to get a bug zapper.
Trump admitted that no one likes him, but explained it doesn't matter.
Somebody said we don't like his personality. I said, I always thought I had a good personality. They don't like my personality. Who the hell cares about my personality? They don't like me. They don't like my personality. But I hate to say it, I'm what you need.
Yes, he's thoroughly unpleasant, but he's necessary. He's America's colonoscopy. It's all on camera. You don't want to watch. It helps to be sedated for the whole thing, and it's a huge pain in the ass. That Trump even needs to campaign in Ohio, by the way, is a bad sign for him. In 2016, he won the Buckeye state by 8 points, but now the state is a toss-up. So Trump told one Ohio crowd just to ignore the polls.
You know what they do? It's suppression polls. They try and depress you. They try and make you happy so you're unhappy. So you go out to dinner with your wife, your husband. You go out to dinner. Darling, let's have dinner. It's so sad. We love Donald, but he just can't make it. Can't make it. Let's go out, have dinner. We'll come home, watch the results.
Hey, dummy. That's a terrible example. You really got to update your made-up scenarios. No one's going out to dinner.
You go out to dinner, you hit the movies, you get a haircut, then you lick your grandparents. I love 2020.
And it's not just Ohio. Trump's support is lagging all over the Midwest for a surprising reason. He's losing ground with white voters. Et tu, Whitey? In Minnesota, where he won white voters by 7 points in 2016, he's currently running 2 percentage points behind Biden. And in Wisconsin, where Trump won non-college educated white women by 16 percentage points 4 years ago, he's now losing them by 9 percentage points. That's got to make him nervous. For more insight, let's go to Trump campaign advisor Cleavon Bart. Mr. Bart, what is the Trump campaign saying behind closed doors?
Hey, where are the white women at?
Thank you, Sheriff. Well, wherever they are, it's important that everyone out there vote. And today, across the country, people are celebrating National Voter Registration Day. And I know we said we weren't going to do it this year, but I got you a present. It's our website, betterknowaballot.com, which has all the links you need to register to vote or check your voter registration status. It also has state-by-state information on how to vote mail-in or absentee, including videos of me walking you through most of the process. We're uploading new videos every day, as well as updating the old videos, so please keep checking back. I think we're up to like 30 videos. We're up to like 30 videos right now, and that's got to be most of them, right?
Getting there.
How many states could there be? And with so many of you voting from home this year, we didn't want you to miss one of the best parts of the democratic process, the I voted sticker. So The Late Show has created Instagram stickers you can share on your stories by searching Better Know a Ballot. We have the classic I voted, as well as the more timely I have filled out the necessary forms to request an absentee ballot and am eagerly awaiting its arrival, at which point I will carefully fill it out and return immediately, so very soon I will have voted. So happy National Voter Registration Day. Register as soon as you can and spread the word using the hashtag BetterKnowABallot. No masturbation jokes still. We got a great show for you tonight. Jesus and Miro are here, but when we come back, meanwhile, stick around.